What's up, YouTube? It's me, Brent. Just here trying to make well, I'm not trying to, I am making little little video here, little short video. I'm going to try to go over a couple knives, or maybe one knife in particular that I showed, kind of drooled over, but didn't really go into depth about it. Like I said, I'm just basically like, I don't really consider them reviews. I mean, I'm pretty much giving my opinion over them, you know. So, anyway, here we go. The zombie stabber, the apocalypse, the Gerber icon, whatever you want to, whatever name I choose to call it. It's a badass blade. I think. Hold on a second. My nose itches. Pick the winner. Okay. So here we go. Now it's got these nice little, I dig the standoffs, the little flow-through construction. It's a liner lock. I think it's 9 something CR MOV, which I think is probably an equivalent to like 440A or 440C or something like that. Like I said, I'm not a steel expert. I'm no kind of expert or anything, but all I know is it's came pretty sharp, and I got it even sharper with the serrations and the blade, and it's got a nice size. I think it's got a 4.25 inch blade for almost, you might, not quite 4.5, almost 4.5 inch blade, but pretty damn good size blade. It's had a cool little zombie on the zombie face on the package, which is pretty badass. You know, they call it their Apocalypse series. It's got a nice tip up carry. Pretty badass, man. I like it. Nice little thick little liner lock there. That was my phone in the background if you heard it. Yeah, it's got I mean, for a $30 knife, I mean, it's got some pretty decent features. I mean, like it's got a nice thick little liner lock. Locks up pretty solid. Actually, to tell you the truth, it locked up better when I tightened it down. So I think I have it down tightened as far as it'll go without the blade sticking too much trying to open it. But at the same thing, I kind of like my blades a little tight. You know, a little stiff at times. So that's just my personal preference. I mean, one of the things that eliminates blade play, and some knives, I mean, you gotta admit, production knives aren't always gonna be perfect. You know, and they come with their flaws, and sometimes they come with some blade play. I mean, the last few knives I've gotten really haven't come with a whole lot of blade play. If they have, I've fixed it with a little tightening of the pivot. This one, like I said, the Instant has a little up and down play, but I think that has a lot to do with the plunge lock. But at the same time, I can overlook that because it's a very dependable, very badass knife. Very dependable. Like I said, I've EDC'd the shit out of that knife. So, anyway, just wanted to make a real quick video. What else do I want to go over? Or maybe just rant a little bit. But I really don't have too much to rant about. I mean, just wanted to go over a few things, maybe show off a few of my babies a couple more times. Like this. I'm really starting to dig these Hinder design knives from Gerber and Kershaw. You know, I mean, I dig his designs. I mean, the handles are nice. I mean, the ergos of his knife are like retarded. I mean, they're awesome. I like this. This kind of the way it's designed with the finger choil almost reminds me of a Strider. Almost. Not that I've ever handled a Strider, ever owned a Strider. I'm just saying it kind of, from seeing the Striders in the way it had this deep finger choil, minus the flipper, the finger guard, kind of reminds me of a Strider because of the deep finger guard and the way you can choke up. And I like that, because, I mean, I'm sure if you're slicing through something, this part of the blade is going to get hung up on something. So if you're choking up, there's very little chance of the blade snagging and you can slice cleanly through something. But anyway, like I said, I'm no expert, but at the same time, I know what I like, and I likes my Torch 2, I think it is. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so I don't know, guys. I guess that's about it. I mean, if anybody's watching these, I appreciate it. I really do. So all in all, most of the time I'm just gonna get in there, shoot the shit, show my blades probably 50 times until I get more new ones, and then I show those 50 more times. Oh wait, one more. You've probably seen this. Like I said, I like the budget folders. The Paraframe isn't a badass knife. I mean, it's high carbon steel. I mean, it's nothing real fancy. You know, I used to have one when I lived in Florida. Beat the shit out of that thing, and it kept on going. This is probably one of the best little beater knives you can buy. I mean, good solid construction, and it's just holds a decent edge. I mean, for a no-name high carbon steel, I mean, it holds pretty decent edges. But for most of your budget knives I've seen, and I've got this little thing on the Wikipedia blade steel page thing, where I can look up the blade steels when I buy a new knife. And most of the HCR MOV steels, or whatever you want to call them, or whatever the MOV steels are, it's basically a Chinese version of like a 440A, 440C, or AUS 8. So, I mean, whatever people want to say about 440A, C, or AUS 8 steels, I mean, it's for the most part, they're pretty decent. I mean, like I said, you're not going to get, you get what you pay for, like I said before in my other video. You get what you pay for, so you can't expect, I mean, if you already know something about steels and blade and all this other stuff, you can't buy a knife. You can't buy a $30 knife with a low-grade steel or a halfway decent steel, or something that's not S30V or VG10. Let me shut this off again because the asshole started talking in the commercial, and I don't want that in my video. But anyway, you can't buy a knife, and like I said before, it's kind of ridiculous when you buy a knife when you know what kind of steel it has. You look at the steel, you know it's not the best of steels, but it's not the worst of steels either. You know, it's not like you bought the knife at a flea market. If you bought it at a pretty reputable place and it's a name brand, most of these knife companies aren't going to put out something that's complete shit. Sometimes they are, sometimes they won't. You know, and it all depends on your preferences, what you like, and your budget. Right now, my budget is, budget knives. But anyway, it's turning into another rant. So, that being said, guys, I guess I'll see you later. If you're watching, thanks for watching. It's Brent. Peace.